Want to know what's going on in the next show? Then head over to our website. Click on the TV guide. This will tell you who's presenting, which guest we have joining us, along with what's going on in each hour. If you ever miss a show, you can catch up by clicking on the day you missed and then click Watch This Show. You can also view what product was on and if it's still available to buy. Catch up on Hobbymaker.
Our call centre is based in the UK and available 24/7. Just call 0800 001 4433 or email help@hobbymaker.co.uk. Good morning, everyone. Bye-bye, January. Hello, February. Absolutely. Longest month of the year is done and dusted, and we're into Feb already. Welcome to Hobbymaker. Welcome to Wake Up to Hobbymaker with myself, Dave, with you through until 8 o'clock this morning. Two great shows, two fantastic guests. We've got Creative Expressions a bit later on with the lovely Gwen. That's at 7 o'clock. Today, though, we're going to start off with the lovely Debbie Moore, who's joining us in the studio to launch her brand new magazine. Before we do that, though, I just want to let everybody know that we are still, again, today, giving you the chance to win yourself either a £25 credit or you could win your basket. Now, let's do the £25 credit thing first of all. We always kind of ease you into the day gradually with a little bit of an anagram competition to get the old brain cells working, bit of a brain teaser. This is the way it works. If you email in the answer, basically unscramble the anagram to make a kind of a crafty word or a crafty product, I think it is today, actually. You could, if you get it right, you will go into the draw, and you could be the one person that gets selected at random to win a £25 account credit on their account. We'll announce that before the end of the show. So here's today's anagram. Jot down this word, or these words: pasture pies. Pasture pies. Rearrange those letters to make a crafty product. Okay, write it down, PASTUREPIES. And if you rearrange it, get it right, and send in your answer before 7. Get it in for around about 10 to 7, and we'll do the draw before 7 o'clock this morning, okay? What could that crafty product be? And the other thing we do is one of you, if you buy something in the show between now and 7, will win your basket, your breakfast basket. So if you want to really kind of go to town and buy a few things, it could be you that actually at random by our call centre gets selected to win whatever you've bought in the show, okay? So get shopping only between 6 and 7, and you could win the value of your basket back. Okay, let's start as we mean to go on. If you go for this magazine, you could win it by the end of the show. Here it is. It's the brand new Debbie Moore Designs magazine, number 63. Now, it's RS6123. As ever, packed full of inspiration, packed full of projects, packed full of ideas. And you're going to get £40 worth of goodies included. Now, that includes all of these beautiful papers that you can see down here. There are 20 sheets. And bearing in mind our thoughts are now kind of spring, we're kind of thinking spring, aren't we? All of this is a beautiful daisy theme, as you can see here. Really bright, really cheerful, different coloured daisies. You've got beautiful verses in there, toppers that you can easily cut out. And then those background papers are absolutely gorgeous. So you get 20 sheets of that in the magazine. You're also going to get a 5-stage stencil, 5 different images on one stencil. That's included as well. So there it is, you've got like 5 different patterns on one. And then inside the magazine, you've actually got a digital download. Now, it's the wonderful world of Oz that you can actually download all the characters that we know from that kind of story and that sort of film and stage show. It's in there, okay? So that's worth $14.99 as well. And there's a download code. You could go to Debbie's website, put in the code that will access all that fantastic crafting Oz inspiration. And you can print that off and have that on your PC forever. All of that. And when you see where the price is going to go on this, you're going to be absolutely gobsmacked. Okay, now you can order on the phone, free phone number, 0800 001 4433. You can order on our website as well, which is hobbymaker.co.uk. Get it first. It's the first time you've seen it. Look at that. £12.99 for the magazine and £40 worth of goodies. Absolute deal. And maybe you collect Debbie's magazines. Now's the time to order it. Pop it in your basket. Jean's in already. Morning, Jean. And you could win the contents of your basket before 7 o'clock this morning. Let me get the lovely Debbie in. Morning. I wasn't sure if you're going to be here for 6 or not.
Morning. Oh, my goodness. How do you guys do it? Hi, everybody.
I don't know.
and you may wonder why my voice is like this. I've just come back from a craft show.
Oh, have you?
So I have been talking an awful lot.
Oh, I know the feeling.
So I sound a little bit husky. It's not because I've got off really early in the morning, but no, I'm really excited to be here. I mean, the launch of this magazine.
I mean, Debbie, to give £40 worth of extras with the magazine for £12.99. How do you do that?
No.
You say, how do I do it? How do you do it?
Well, do you know what? It's been now 11 and a half years since I've been doing this magazine.
Wow.
I know, I don't know where the time's actually gone. So this magazine is close to my heart. It's full of, jam-packed full of inspiration. But like you said, you've got the Daisy Dreams, you've got 40 pull-out papers. There's 20 of them, but they're double-sided, all different to give you choice. And then this is a new stencil I've designed.
love it.
That is a 5-in-1. So where before it was just one stencil, I thought, do you know what? What happens if you have more than one choice? I couldn't decide, you know. I've got some showing you how to use it on top of the papers in there, so you can change the paper. I love the actual honeycomb on the option on there. And the beauty about it is that you've got all of them.
Well, let me just have a little flick through the magazine just for a few seconds. I don't want to spoil what's inside it, but basically you get a hello from Debbie herself, and then page after page after page, construction ideas, how to use the actual papers that you've got in the magazine as well, like all of these fantastic ideas for how to use the papers, how to use the toppers, some put together card ideas as well. And there's just page after page after page of inspiration. And remember, towards the back, after you've gone through your papers that are in the centre there, towards the back, there's a download code for the wonderful world of Oz, which is inspired by Oz, Wizard of Oz.
It's what's it called? What's his name? Balm. I'll have to look at 2 o'clock. He wrote it in the 1800s. I will say the Amazing World of Oz, it's actually bags and boxes. It's a brand new collection. It's not the collection that I brought out a few years ago.
Okay.
So everything's brand new.
Okay.
So so I will remember his name, but it's very early. But he wrote it in the 1800s. F.W. Balm, I think his name is.
That sounds about right.
F.W. I will double check, but it's the original guy who wrote it in the 1800s.
Yeah.
That inspired the story that is well known throughout.
So it may well be that you've got some of the other fantastic images from Oz that Debbie's bought before. This is new. This is bags and boxes, so you can make your own bags and gift boxes from that collection. That's worth $14.99. That's in there as well. All you do is go to Debbie's website. All the details are in the magazine. Put in the code, and that then gives you access to all that artwork, and you can just make those bags and boxes all included. $12.99 today. Already Sandra's in, Primrose is in, Anita's in as well. And remember, one of you before 7 will announce the winner of who's won their basket, and also who's won a £25 credit as well onto their account. That's basically what we do every morning between 6 and 7. Well worth setting your alarm maybe for 5:45, put the kettle on, sit down with us and gradually kind of see in the day and possibly win with Hobbymaker as well. Okay, we've got other things in the show, but I thought we'd do kind of establish the magazine, do a demo. Is that all right?
Definitely.
Okay,
We should.
so Debbie will go over there and I'll follow. So if you want to order, the way to order is free phone number 0800 001 4433, or the website, which is of course hobbymaker.co.uk. All right, let's have a wander over and let's get crafting. Start. What day is it today? Wednesday. Yeah, start Wednesday as we mean to go on with a little bit of crafting.
Okay.
Do you normally craft this early in the morning?
I'll be honest, no. I'm normally in bed. I really am. I'm trying to remember getting up. You know, I have done these where you've had to get up for a meeting or something like that, and
Yeah.
I don't think I've crafted this early, but this is fun. I love
First for
crafting.
everything.
There is a
time
first for everything. So what I'm doing, I'm actually doing the image on the front cover.
Okay.
And so what I've done is I've got my papers already ready. Now, I've ripped them out, and you can be a little bit neat if you want, but if you do what I do, all you need to do is take a paper trimmer and simply just trim it down, take that little edging off. Now, remember, they're dual-sided. So you've got the other side if you want, but who does not like
And the
that
paper is
pattern?
beautiful quality. It's got like not a shine, but it's a lovely kind of soft coating to it.
It has. You've got like a glossy. The reason why I picked this is because I like distress inks.
Yeah.
So the option is, if you want to change the look of this, you can with put distress inks on it, but also you've got the actual gloss effect. It pops the colours of everything.
Superb.
So what I'm doing also on the show, we have got some craft card. So I want to make a square card. Sometimes you don't. Square cards to me are the ones that go all the time.
Yeah.
Because I use the most. So I've got 2 A4 pieces of craft card that we have on the show, and I'm trimming it down, one of them to 21 by 21, like so. And then the other one is 21 by 24.
Now we're putting the details up of the craft card if you want it. How many sheets does it you get?
That one is 50.
50 sheets of craft card, 250 GSM, that's in the show, only £12.99 as well. That's IK6190 if you fancy a craft card, okay? IK6190, brilliant.
Right, and then I have just dropped the blade
Let me
in
get
that
it for you.
corner. So what I'm doing, thank you, Dave.
It's all right.
I have scored at 21, and that enables you to put a little tab on.
Okay.
And by having that, you have now created a square card. Okay, and then I've got some 3-in-1 glue. There we go, and then we'll put it all together.
Perfect.
So do you craft this early in the morning?
No.
I
I barely function this time of the morning at
question.
Lonecraft.
So all I'm doing is, there's my base card.
I am an early bird though, I do like getting up
I
early.
do like getting up early.
And the day's your oyster then, isn't it? You haven't wasted any of it, so.
Yes. So, well, oops, I obviously didn't press strong enough. Make sure that the glue is on strong enough. You can use different types of adhesive, double-sided tape or wet glue. And then all I'm doing, I've already cut my elements out, is I want to have a little white edging, and this is a top tip. You can use a pencil or a pen. I used to have them all in here. Do you know what? You know when you drop your bag of goodies, and then they don't go in order? All right, let me just...
Well, you do a big show and there's bits and pieces everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Everything goes back in the wrong
So
order.
I'm just going to make a little mark there and then use my paper trimmer and trim it down. So I never measure unless I am measuring something out. So by putting a little notch on, you can trim down your paper to how you want it. So this is going to sit lovely in there. It's a lovely, has a French feel, doesn't it?
It does a bit, yeah.
And then I just thought this was a different way to do a Valentine's card.
Oh yeah, we're not that far away, 2 weeks
We
today.
aren't, okay. So what I was thinking before I put everything together is we have on the show some Print Magic and Glossy Magic. And what I'm doing is I'm going to add some bling.
Okay. And with the Print Magic and the Glossy Magic, you actually get the Versamark pen as
You
well, which is the
do.
kind of sticky ink that it sticks to.
So what I want to do is, just to show you how Glossy Magic and Print Magic are, what you do is you just get your ink and put it where you want to. So what I'm going to do is, I literally want to do the inside of these flowers.
These pens are so handy, the
Oh,
Versamark
they
pens.
are, aren't they?
Yeah. How would you do that with an ink pad? You know, this is so precise.
You couldn't, not really. And when you see what it does, I'm just going to do those areas and then these little daisies on here. So this technique is called flittering
Okay.
in the greeting card world. And what
Flittering at
because
6:15 in the morning.
I am. Put the powder on. You don't use a lot. Gently tip it. Now make sure you've got no residue. Actually, can I give you that?
Yep.
You could put that in there for me, please. And then you do need to use a heat tool.
I was going to say, this is where we find out it's not
It
switched
did
on.
work because we tested it.
Oh. Oh, there we go. The plug came out.
I pulled it out, everybody. It is early. Hold it very, very still. And then it'll start to twinkle at you. There you go.
There we are, it's twinkling.
When it twinkles, it means it's set. So then move on your heat.
Flittering.
And there you go. And then
the word of the morning.
I don't think I've actually put any powder on that little area. No, I haven't.
Yeah, you missed that bit.
I missed that. It's a bit early, everybody. There you go. It's a good thing. I did that on purpose to show you that you can go back. And then you put the heat on. But just look, it looks amazing. I don't know if you can see. Can you see?
So that one you used is Print
There you
Magic,
go.
Diamond Sparkle Print Magic. And
Okay.
the Glossy Magic, that'll give you like a resin effect, will it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You'll get like a glaze, that's why it's glossy, and then literally the two. So this one gives the sparkle, and then you have the glaze.
Okay, great.
And then we're going to put it together. And this is just a different, you know, you used to see Valentine's Day that are pinks and reds. You don't often get a blue one. So when we were designing it, we thought, why not do a very vintage feel?
Well, it's like you said, it's got a French kind of Provence about it, or maybe a little bit of
Yes.
Paris about it as well, with the wonderful swirls at the top.
Definitely. And also on the show, we've got at a really good price is a pricking tool.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm using this pricking tool. It is on the website.
Now, Debbie uses this all the time. Whenever you see Debbie's demonstration, she always, with the foam pads, uses this tool. It's the easiest way to pick up the foam pads, but also get the back off.
So you should have it on the website. So it's called a pricking tool, and I think it's $3.99.
Oh, wow, okay. Now, we're just going to put that on the screen. By the way, if you wanted the Glossy Magic and the Print Magic, that was $15.99 with the Versamark pen as well. But the pricking tool, if you struggle, and you see our guests sometimes struggle getting the backs off double-sided tape or foam pads, this is the way to do it. $3.99, pop that in your basket. Remember, cap P&P every day of just $3.95 for the whole day's orders. So from anything you buy right from now until midnight tonight, you'll only find that you only charge one P&P of $3.95. So for that pricking tool, well worth spending that £3.99 just to make life easier for yourself.
And then a butterfly. There's loads of butterflies in this collection.
There we go.
Look at that.
Demo number 1. So remember, today we are launching the brand new magazine. Can I go back just to show it to you again and remind you? I'll have another little flick if that's all right. You've got 20 double-sided sheets, so basically 40 sides in the papers there. Toppers, background papers as well, all with a wonderful kind of daisy theme to it. Loads of you have ordered this already today. Remember, we're doing it for $12.99. But the magazines, I think craft magazines are some of the best magazines to invest in, because normally when you buy a magazine, if it's like a monthly edition or something, you read it and it's done, you know, so you don't necessarily keep it, you give it away or give it to a friend or bin it or give it to the doctors. You know, today, when you buy a craft magazine, you keep it because it's full of ideas. Now, this magazine itself, if I just flick through for you, in the middle, you've got all of your superb double-sided papers, okay? So there they are. Now, you can either tear them out, as Debbie did, or you can actually, if you've got a little pricking tool or another tool, you can actually open up the staples and just remove them that way. That way, you'll keep them in perfect, intact order. But it's not just about the papers that are in there, because bearing in mind the papers are daisy themed, the first few demonstrations in the magazine are all about the daisies. So you've got straight out of the bat ideas as to how to use what you're getting in the magazine as well. And loads of techniques, and also, of course, all of these kind of construction ideas you can use in any card making. If you're looking at loads of components and loads of toppers and loads of sheets of paper, and you think, how can I put that together? Just flick through a magazine like this and it gives you loads of ideas. And this is one of the images, remember, from the wonderful world of Oz, which is a free download inside the magazine. Now, that normally would be $14.99 for your bags and your boxes. But the artwork of the Oz collection is absolutely superb. You may have already got some of the Oz collections at home already. These are new, they're different, they're in addition to what you've already got. So that's going to be in the magazine. Towards the back, you'll find the download code there. But look at all this artwork, all of this for you to use. So we've taken out the 20 sheets and we displayed them there for you. You get that. You're also going to get the download inside worth $14.99. And you get the 5-step stencil as well. I mean, you'd pay £7 or £8 for the stencil, wouldn't you? Absolutely. With the butterflies, the brickwork, the honeycomb, the bubbles, and the flowers. The whole thing today, the deal today, is $12.99 for everything. All the inspiration. I mean, how much do you pay for workshops to get inspiration, to get ideas? You know, it's almost like a paper workshop you've got in here with loads of ideas from Debbie and her team. The stencil's got to be worth, what, £7 or £8. The papers, if you were to buy a 20 paper pack, you'd be looking at what, £12, £13 for that on its own, I would have thought. And a downloadable collection for bags and boxes worth $14.99. The download itself is worth nearly, well, it's actually worth more than the cost of the magazine combined. So to get all of this together, it's a way of Debbie getting you to have a little look at what Debbie Moore Designs can offer you. It's basically, it's almost like their advertising. You know, here's what we do. Hope you like it. If you like any of the other collections, maybe go online, buy them from us at Hobbymaker. It's there today, brand new. Only £12.99. And you can see some of the fantastic cards that have been made with Debbie's design team as well. I mean, Debbie Moore Designs has got a very distinctive look. A lot of our collections have got very distinctive looks, very, very recognisable. The artwork's amazing. The colours are always vibrant and bright. And, you know, you can print off that downloadable collection onto whatever you choose. What do you want to make your boxes and bags out of? It's entirely up to you. £12.99, brand new today. Great. Okay, now we're going to move over and show you what else is in the show as well. But already Audrey's checked out, Linda in Surrey, Sue in West Yorkshire, Gay in Surrey, Mary in Lanark. And don't forget, you've just got to buy something between now and 7. And you could win what you've bought. You can win your breakfast basket. We do it every weekday morning between 6 and 7. And also, if you get the anagram right, one of you will win a £25 account credit before the end of the hour as well. There we are. There's your breakfast basket. That's all you have to do is buy something and you could win whatever you've paid for what you've bought before 7 o'clock this morning. And don't forget that anagram, if you get the unjambled letters correct, to basically make up a crafting product, which you may or may not have in your craft room right now. Pasture pies. Rearrange those letters. Do you know what it is? Have you got it? Have you worked it out?
No.
No, okay.
I'll be honest.
Rearrange those letters. What does it make? It is a crafting product, and we will announce the winner in probably about 35 minutes or something like that. And loads of answers coming through already. Just send them in. Email address studio@hobbymaker.co.uk. Okay, now we've also got, where do you want to go, Debbie? Do you want to do the USBs? Or?
Well, we can start with the USB keys,
All right.
because what I've done is I've been very, what's the word? I've put USB keys, card kits and digitals, a bit for everything.
A bit of everybody, yeah.
And I've done it, obviously it's all about flowers, you know, the magazine with the daisy dreams, but then I thought peonies and sunflowers, so that's what we have on the show.
Okay, so let me show you first of all. This USB is just here. Now, if I just, I'll lift this up and show you. Basically, on this, you've got 1,000 printable elements on this USB. So basically, you've got all of the artwork you'd expect from Debbie Moore Designs, the Peony Dreams. So this is a mixture of toppers, background papers, sentiments, all there for you to print off. And you know, over 1,000 elements, that's
I know,
a lot.
that is an awful lot.
A lot of content.
So what we've done on the show, because we want people to enjoy our collections, we have put the USB keys on. But also what we've done is we have a card kit element.
Yep.
And then we have a digital download of the collection. So you've got choices of them all.
So you can either buy the kit itself in the flesh or have the USB or have the download. It's entirely up to you. The download doesn't have any P&P attached to it. But the way our system is set up, basically it has to charge you the P&P. There's no option for it not to, the one P&P for the day. But if that's all you buy today, the download, you'll get that refunded tomorrow on your account, okay? If you buy something else during the day, obviously the one P&P per day of $3.95 stands. But have a little look at some of the cards we've got here. These are the peony cards that have been made from the USB. I mean, the USBs are massively popular, aren't they? The values.
It is very popular because you get such a variety on here, because as well as the backing papers, you do get the boxes as well and the extra elements, sentiments. And it is more of having your own shop on that theme that you can go to again and again. But the card kit as well is a great way to actually have a go at it. You get 21 crafting sheets, you get the inspiration sheet, and it does come with a forever code as well. So you're never going to run out of those elements there.
We'll get to the card kit in a sec, but if you want the USB, NA6148, if you want the Peony Dreams USB key, what price can we do that for you today? Bearing in mind there's 1,000 printable elements on that USB. I'd rather store a USB. I mean, there's no room needed for it. It's all there. It's like a craft shop in one little USB key. Here it comes. What would you expect to pay? $17.99 for 1,000 printable elements, and they're never going to disappear. They're always going to be there.
No, there's so much on there. There's such a variety on there. And when you actually go through it, works on PC, Mac, and Linux.
Yeah.
You can use the, I use the new Windows 11. So it works with any computer in the world as long as it's not older than 10 years old.
Fantastic. Okay, so that's USB for the peonies. Now, the USB for the sunflowers, I know this is going to be hugely popular. Anything sunflower related, you can't get enough of. Now, if you thought the contents on the peony USB was impressive, look at this. You've got 1,290 different elements on here. You've got tags, toppers, sentiments, embellishments, inserts, envelopes, dimensional projects as well. So you can make 3D projects if you want to too. But if that doesn't make you smile, I mean, a sunflower to me is the brightest flower out there, isn't it?
It is gorgeous, yes. There's such a variety in here, because what you have on here is, you look at the sunflower and you think you've only got the yellow option, but we've given you blues, greens, vintage. So when we have a look at it, you'll see there's more variety in there. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure we're going to do the same deal on this USB as we did with the peony one. So if you wanted both the peony and the sunflower today, you'd be looking at around about £36, one P&P of $3.95, $17.99 for the USB for the sunflower, okay? JU6161 is the product code there. And again, just looking at these finished cards, they're absolutely gorgeous. Just look how cheerful they are. If I had a flower, for every time I thought of you, I'd walk in a garden forever. It's lovely.
Oh, you say
So
that,
some of
you say
those
the nicest
samples
things.
are made up from the Sunflower Dreams card kit collection as well as Sunflower Delights.
There we go. Isn't that beautiful? Just really, really, I think sunflowers are probably one of the reasons that yellow's my favourite colour, because it's one of my favourite flowers. And again, some other project ideas here that you can see, really sweet. I mean, maybe the kids are starting to grow them in a couple of months' time. Maybe that's something you do at school, have kind of sunflower competitions. Who's the tallest? That takes me back to my childhood, definitely. How beautiful is that? And of course, if you go for the magazine, you've got the stencils there as well. You've got the honeycomb for the bees. And of course, the sunflowers will kind of work beautifully with that as well. So yeah, we're now thinking.
Pop-up.
Oh, is it?
If you open it, it's showing you can actually get loads of different elements.
Oh, wow. There you go. How cool is that? It looks like a butterfly's flying. Fab.
So we've actually used on that card, we've got a match it coming up. So with the sunflowers, we've also got a match it kit. So those sunflowers have been die cut in the corner.
Okay, now, not everybody is into downloading and printing off. We're very well aware of that, and so is Debbie very well aware of that. And that's why she gives you the option of having the physical card kit as well. But what I still can't get my head around is the fact that when you buy the card kit and it runs out, as every card kit does, Debbie gives you a forever code. So basically, on Debbie's website, you put in the forever code that will be in with your card kit, and it means that you've got access then to all this artwork that you can print off as many times as you like, indefinitely. So once you buy a card kit from Debbie, it's a card kit for life. But this is the physical card kit that will arrive through your door, and this is the peony one. I mean, on each A4 sheet, you've got about 6 or 7 different toppers, which are so simple and easy to cut out. You get all of that. There we are. You get sentiments on there as well, which are lovely. So beautiful quality. That's your cardstock. And then we come on to eventually, that's a peony project.
A side seam, we're going to do that next.
There we go. So you can make a card like that, side seam. There we go.
It comes with an inspiration sheet and ideas as well.
Then you get a sheet of ribbons and bows. Then you get your wonderful background papers as well. Stunning. So how many sheets in total?
In that one, 21.
21 sheets in total, and the forever code. So basically, if you love this artwork, that's the one downside about card kits normally, is you buy it because you love it, and then you run out of it, and it's like, oh, then you realise it's been discontinued. With the forever code, you've always got all of this artwork to print off, and you can choose different things to print it onto. Fabric,
yes, of course you can.
vellum.
Tissue paper, we're
Yep.
going to do a tissue demo today.
Absolutely. So there we go. That's the peony one. And then same for the, we want the price, don't we? Okay. Here comes the peony card kit with the forever code. I've just been told you're not going to believe the price, okay? I can't say where we're going to go. $14.99.
Yes.
$14.99 for a card kit that will never, ever run out on you. Pretty impressive. OU6198. There is something nice about having something physical in your hands as well, isn't there?
Definitely, it is. And the colours are just, we've chosen those colours to give you, you know, from the oranges to the peony colours. I love the lilacs and the pinks.
Definitely. Now, the Sunflower Card Collection. So if you want the physical paper and cardstock, here it is again, forever code included. Once you buy it, you've always got it for life. So again, the card is on the top to start off with. Oh, this is interesting. Is this like a decoupage?
There is decoupage in there as well.
So it shows you what to put down first, what to put down second, and so on, to build up your decoupage card. Beautifully printed, as always. Lovely little verses. And we're going to match the price on the peony card kit with the sunflower. So both of those for under £30, and both of them have forever codes as well. So there's your decoupage sheet again there for you.
And you've got a box, that box in front of you.
Oh, right, okay. There's your papers with your butterflies as well. Stunning. Look at that. So there we go. And then you've got the box project in there too, yeah?
Yes.
So you'll be making that from that card collection, but with the forever code, it means you will never, ever run out of that artwork. It's there on your PC for life, or you can store it if you wanted to on a hard drive or a USB. It's up to you.
I know, that you're going to get such a variety. And, you know, that's why we put them on the show. So you've got from the daisy dreams to the peony and sunflowers that really, they're all florals. And it's spring is around the corner.
Put a smile on your face, definitely. And it's getting a bit brighter now. Sunnier days at the moment, which is lovely. So it's making you think of spring, and you like to work on spring projects around about January, February time. Go for that sunflower collection today. It's only $14.99 with the forever code included as well. BI6151 is the product code. BI6151. We have got the matchets and the inserts to come, but we'll do a demo next and then come back to those before the end of the show.
So one of my favourite concept cards is side seams.
Okay.
And that was that project that was in the kit.
Yes.
And it's also on the USB key. So you actually get, instructions on the sheet, even a guide showing where to glue and everything.
Okay, great.
So when you either print it off or use the kit, follow the instructions, cut them out. Broken lines mean that you simply score them, and straight lines mean cut. So I'm going to start with my scoring. So you can use, excuse me, I'm going to need some more water. This is talking too much. So when it comes to your scoring, you can use a channel on a paper trimmer.
Yep.
Or you can use a scoreboard. So I'm just using my channel on my paper trimmer with an embossing tool. And then simply you use the tool and go down the channel, and then you score the sections like so. And then there is an area on the tabs. Now remember, everything's all for you. And then if you're going for the USB key, you do have a gallery on there, sort of ideas. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to score those areas. So you do have to score the elements first. But by having either the USB key or even the Forever Code, mm-hmm. The beauty about it is that you can just print off again and again because you've got that Forever Code.
So if there's one sheet in particular that you love, one project that you love, normally in a card kit you get it once, maybe twice if you're lucky, but with the Forever Code you can print that off 500 times if you want to.
Definitely. Now, what I've done here is you can see, if I go like this, that will sit like so. And then all I'm doing is getting my adhesive mm-hmm. and stick it together. When I do these cards, I prefer to use adhesive. Like I told you, it tells you on the diagram where to put the glue.
Yep.
So you can slide it into place like so. So I'm just sliding, and that's why I prefer glue. So then that gives you a little bit of give. This card goes completely flat. And then you will have the tabs that you've already scored. Mm-hmm. So all you need to do is decide which area you want. Normally you put the biggest on the back, so it gives you that kind of dimension.
Yep.
So you do exactly the same. Put the adhesive on the side, and you simply slide up like so.
Oh, clever.
It's been designed so it goes flat, so you don't have to do any measuring. As long as you score where it tells you. Put that on there.
So you can make this card as many times as you like.
Yes.
How cool is that?
And we haven't actually talked about angel policy.
Oh, okay.
Literally, we give you permission to make as many as you want. If you want to double check, if you wanted the licenses, we even do licenses as well. But you can make as many cards as you want for charity for yourself mm-hmm. Or for charity. And look how gorgeous, everything's done for you. And then, of course, we've got butterflies.
Beautiful.
Now, I'm going to use the pricking tool that we have on today's show.
Honestly, I know it's only something small, but it makes a massive difference. If you struggle getting the backs off foam pads or double-sided tape foam or whatever, the pricking tool is only $3.99. Is it double-ended?
Yes. And you simply pick up, take off.
So clever, so easy.
And then I love that saying, feel good, be happy. And then let's have some butterflies. One there. And put it all together. You can decide which one you want of those, Dave.
Okay. Especially for you. How about that?
Okay, let's have.
Oh no, thinking of you. Yeah, thinking of you.
And then, thank you for being part of my journey. That can go there. And then thinking of, which one did you want?
Yeah, thinking of you.
Thinking of you. We'll go down here.
It's a lovely card, isn't it?
But everything was done. You don't have to think about anything. Do you know what I mean? Everything was done for you. And then I'm just going to put another butterfly on. And we're done.
Cool.
How easy.
So that's actually physically in the card kit, but remember with the Forever Code, if that's your favourite card and you just want to make 20 of those, you can do that just go on the website, onto Debbie's website, put the forever code in. That gives you access to all the artwork, and that will be there not just for a month or two, but indefinitely, and you can print it off again and again and again and again. So it's the card kit that never runs out. I've said this before about Debbie. That is such a generous thing because, you know, designers and people who manufacture card kits hope that you run out and you'll come back and buy another one. That's how they keep going. But Debbie says, just buy it once. That's all I ask of you, and then you've got the artwork there for life. How generous is that? Now, having a quick look on the USB, Alex, our producer today, has plugged in a USB into his computer in the gallery. And this gives you an idea as to what is on the USB. If you go for the Peony one, this is what the actual menu is going to look like. And it's like a little filing cabinet of different departments.
So that's showing you when you pop it in. Now, remember, this is the same for the download as well. So we're going to click on design sheets. By clicking on the design sheets, what will come up? Look at the colours. Now, we've only seen the orange and the pink.
Yep.
But you have got other colorways on here. So if you wanted like the yellow, the bottom, click on the yellow, any of those yellow tabs. There you go. What will come up is the design sheet.
Oh, wow.
So you can see that you've got the options. And all you would need to do is click on the top right-hand side. There should be a little printer icon just there, and clicking on that. That will bring up your print preview and you would print.
Yep.
That's how easy it is. But we're going to click on cancel. And to come out of this, you need to click on the tab, the X at the top. That is open this page, not that one, that one, yes. And that brings you back. Now, if we go to the second page, at the bottom, yep, keep going.
Oh, there's more.
There's always more. Click on the orange one, yep, keep going. This is one set. Click on an orange one, just to show a variety of, that one.
Yep.
Open it up and look, you've got more. That's lovely sentiment, isn't it? But look at the artwork, you know, look at the colour palette that you're going to get. It is really jam-packed.
And think of what you can print onto these days. You know, years ago it was only kind of paper, glossy paper or whatever. Nowadays you can print onto fabric, you can print onto tissue paper, you can print onto glossy if you want to, print onto printable vellums and acetate. $17.99, and the USB is literally, you know, that smart, that size, and you can totally print off those elements in there every single day for the rest of your life if you want to.
Exactly.
That artwork will never run out. What a great price, $17.99. And, you know, you can actually make them bigger, make them smaller.
Of course you can. And the artwork is fixed so it doesn't pixelate.
Right.
So you would close this tab. Let's have a look at the papers. So if you click on the papers, now this is great to have because you will always need backing paper. So if you just click onto the next page, and then the next page, and then the next page. You can see the variety. Now click on one of those. Click on, say, for example, the pink one. Yep.
That'll do, yep. Alex is colourblind.
I mean, look at that.
Isn't that beautiful? Absolutely stunning.
Wouldn't that be lovely as a backing paper, as in a wrapping paper as well? These colours are just so beautiful. Now, it's zooming in. We're just zooming in to show you the detail on it, okay? But you don't have to zoom in because everything's set for you to give you that option. And it'll show you a full page. Now, we come out of here by clicking on the X at the top. And now keep going on the next lot of papers. I just want to show you the variety of papers. Go to the next page, and the next page, and the next page, and the next page. And then just pick on any of those will do. So you have got, I mean, that'd be lovely for a wedding card.
It would be, yeah,
so
absolutely.
you can see that you're getting such a variety of elements.
Well, remember, the Peony USB is $17.99, same price for the sunflower, and basically the contents is even greater on the sunflower.
There's more,
yeah,
yes.
There's more. So NA6148 if you want the peony. And if you want the sunflower one, let's pop details up for that as well, because I know lots of you love the sunflowers. If you want the sunflower USB, that's got 1,290 elements, but it works in exactly the same way. And Debbie, I think you were one of the very first people to make USBs and the actual format of them, so easy to use.
Now, it's actually award-winning, this format, and we wrote it. When I say we, my husband wrote it.
Right.
We wrote it for a click and print system. So I say to everybody, if you have it in your house, if you have a computer in your household, go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, sorry, I need some water.
Okay, well, this is the sunflower one. It's JU6161. This is $19.99, but that isn't the price, is it? Let's drop that price for you. Here we go. So all of this content, 1,290 elements, $17.99. We're matching the Peony USB JU6161, but they work in exactly the same way. Now, I know Debbie did mention that we've got the match it, so I'm going to give you details of those next as well. But can I just remind you that one person between now and 7 is going to win the contents of their basket. So by shopping with us between 6 and 7, buying whatever you want from Debbie, one of you will win the basket that you've checked out back, okay? And that will be announced, the winner of that, in the next 15 minutes or so. And also one person, if you get the anagram correct, will win a £25 credit on their account. So we've got about 10 minutes before we'll close the lines on that, but get your answers in, studio@hobbymaker.co.uk. Good luck with that as well. Okay, now the matches. These are great. They are superb. You're going to get dies and you're going to get the match it papers as well. And they're called match it's quite simply because the dies match the flowers. This has got a forever code too,
Yes.
hasn't it?
That is a forever code on the last page, but we're not going to show you it.
No, we're not.
So basically, you're going to get 32 crafting sheets with this. And as you can see, the sunflowers themselves are what you're going to, I mean, you can just about see them. You are going to get those elements that you can actually die cut out. And then the back sheets are what we call card fronts.
Fantastic.
And you can create cards with them, you can do layers up with them. And it gives you an option each time to simply die cut and layer them up. So you've got all those dies in the kit. And you're getting both at that amazing, oh, not that price, it's a special price.
It's a special price. Should be $32.99. We're going to get that price down for you. All those dies and the actual 32 sheets, plus the forever code. So, you know, how frustrating would that be if you had the dies but you didn't have any of the flowers after a few weeks? You'll never run out of them with the forever code. $22.99, we've just knocked a third off the price, down to £22.99. It's OK 6147 if you want the match it's okay, with the forever code included. And that's what they can look like.
So you can use it with elements from the card kit,
Yep.
from the USB key. And as you can see, look, all these have been die cut out to give you that option. Or if you're actually wanting to add corner and dimension, that's what they've all been added to. And by having that layer of dimension, it just makes the card pop.
It really does. So the match its are there if you want them. The USBs are there. And by the way, the downloads, there's nothing physical to show you. It's basically, if you buy the download, it's one of the most affordable ways of getting the artwork. You'll get an email from Debbie tomorrow giving you access to the download and all that fantastic artwork. But that's on the website if you want it. And of course, if that's all you buy today, you'll get your P&P refunded because it's not posted. It's actually emailed to you. So there's no postage. But our system has to charge you P&P. It's set up that way, and then you'll get a refund tomorrow of your $3.95. But if you buy something else today, of course, the $3.95 P&P still applies. One P&P for the whole day.
Okay,
Right.
I think I'd like to just quickly show you on the sunflower USB key.
Okay.
Because we're going to do a candle.
Okay, great. This is one of my favourite demonstrations from Debbie. I love it. Have a little look. This is the sunflower USB. Just works exactly the same way as the Peony.
Exactly. So we've just clicked into, I think, large envelopes. So by clicking in one of the... So if you click on the design sheets to start off with, so this is what I was saying. Obviously, the main colour is yellow. Click on any of those tabs, whichever one you want to, of those. Up will come up the design sheet, and look at it. It pops with colour. You've got ribbon strips, sentiments, toppers. Now, you have got heartfelt, inspirational quotes. You've got religious quotes on this one as well. And you've got main toppers. Now, if you come out of that, okay, this is just one. And I just want to jump straight to the papers. And just yet again, we're going to do the bottom tabs just to show you the variety of colour palette, the variety of design aspects. You can use it for scrapbooking, card making. You can use it for memory books. You can use it with tissue paper. You know, you just click on one, choose it, whichever one you want to, and you can see you've got from yellows to vintages. If you want a bright one, they go for that one, but you can close it down if I click in on the tab at the top. And we're going to go down to, can you go to where it says dimensional cards? There you go. So we have got rocker cards, easel cards, and also you have got side scenes. So if you click on the side scene cards, we did this for the Peony. Click on one, and up will come up the elements. It's just to show you how it'll come up on the USB key. It'll be the same with the Peony.
Brilliant.
Everything's there for you. You put it together, okay? So what I've done here, because time is running away, I want to show you how I've taken a sheet from that USB key. Now, also, don't forget this is available as a digital. So this is a design sheet, okay? And you can print it off different colors. This is the one that has the blue. I always design them so you have got inspirational quotes, you've got the odd religious quote in there, and you've got the plain toppers. So it's great options on those.
Can I just say, on the download side of things, if you're watching us abroad, at the moment we don't actually ship abroad. We're looking into doing that hopefully in the future. But if you're watching us in France, in Germany, in Greece, in America, wherever it may be, if you want the download, you can order that. And of course, there's no P&P charge either. You pay it first and we refund it tomorrow. So if you are watching outside the UK, you can go for the downloads if you want.
Yes, and there is the download option available for the USB key. For peony and for sunflower.
Yeah, brilliant.
So what I've done here, I just want to show you, is that's printed off as it is. Now, on today's show, we have tissue paper, and we also have it in a pack. It comes with a printable pack of glossy paper and tissue paper.
Okay.
It's on the website. Okay, and how it comes is you get 2 packs of these. Okay.
$8.99 for your tissue paper and your glossy paper. That's a bargain, isn't it?
It is. And look at the size of them. So you then cut them out. So basically you cut a sheet out of this. I want to show you what you do. You simply cut it out. And when you actually cut it out, you will be able to feel, if I show you this to Dave, that one side has like a coating and one doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
So what you need to make sure you do, okay, print off what you want to print. So there's my topper. The reason being, that way you know where it's going to sit, and you stick this on top of here with tape.
Okay.
Can you see sellotape that I put around there?
Yep, yep.
So when I put it, and I don't put it to the edge, the instructions are on the packet when you get them home. But what happens is your printer grabs the paper here. So this is just normal copy paper, and I've stuck a piece of tissue in the middle.
Okay, perfect.
And then it's printed on the tissue paper.
Yep.
Okay. Let's move that to one way. And then all you then do is make sure your candle, it fits on your candle.
Right.
So I've got a candle from a local supermarket. And then what I'm doing is cutting it out. It doesn't have to be exact because this is white. So you can cut it directly. But it's such a lovely project to do. Think about all the imagery, all the peonies, all the different sunflowers. And then you cut it out like so. And then this comes off because it's on a carry sheet.
Yeah. That's just ordinary copier paper you used, yeah?
That is,
Yeah.
yes, but this is the tissue paper in that pack. And then this is going to go in here. Now what you need, everybody, is a heat tool, not a hairdryer.
No.
So it's going to melt the wax, but before you melt the wax, you need to hold the wax. So what I mean by that, you need some parchment, greaseproof paper.
Right.
And what you do is you need to cut out a piece the size of your candle.
Okay, so this is just ordinary greaseproof paper from the kitchen. You don't have to
Yeah.
have anything fancy.
No, nothing fancy. And you need to make sure it's the right size. And this holds the wax, everybody. Now, it might think it sounds complicated, but trust me, it isn't. Okay, all you need to do is have that. And because what you're going to do is have this on here, line that up, make sure it's straight, put that on top, like so. And what you do is hold it from the back
Right.
and then put the heat on.
Okay, this is brilliant.
So you hold it straight and you hold the heat in one side and it will go like water. I can see it changing already. There you go. Can you see that, Dave?
The colour gets more intense, doesn't it?
Yes.
So this is kind of fusing the tissue paper and the image to the actual candle itself. So now you can make your own designer candles and sell those on your craft stand.
Look
See
at
what I
it
mean?
go.
That is one of my favourite techniques. I love it.
It doesn't take long when you start doing it. But watch what you're doing. You don't want candle wax dripping off you.
No.
So
As soon as
look-
it starts to turn, move on.
Exactly. There we go. And it has to be make sure when you actually print, you print on the coated bit.
Right.
And then all you're doing is lifting it up.
Hey, look. There's your designer candle. How cool
And
is
it's
that?
sunk in. If, for example, you think, oh, I've missed a bit, you just put that back on
Go back in and reheat.
and heat it.
Bro. Do you know what? I could make candles like that all day long. And they're just run-of-the-mill, ordinary candles from the supermarket, maybe, I don't know, £1 each or £1.50 each or whatever. Isn't that brilliant? So you can do that with any of the artwork that you've got, not just from Debbie, but any of the artwork you've got access to at home. All you need is the tissue paper and the glossy sheets. What would you use the glossy sheets for?
So the
Just to
glossy
print onto?
sheets are this, you know, so it's the papers like it's in the magazine.
Ah, right.
So that lovely...
Kind of satin shine.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we did it as a special bundle. So you're going to be able to do a minimum with the tissue paper of 120 candles.
Wow.
Because of this size,
Wow.
yes. Because they're that big.
Fantastic. Now, remember, if you want the actual tissue paper and the glossy sheets as well, it's on the screen for you. It's only £8.99, and you could be making candles just like that. RM6134. RM6134. Now, have we got the name of the winner yet? Are we getting that sorted? Yeah, we're going to get that sorted. Okay. So I think we'll close the lines now on the anagram competition. So thank you if you sent in the answer. We haven't got a winner yet for Win Your Basket. We might have to announce that at 1 o'clock this afternoon. So if you've bought something in this show, make sure you watch the 1 o'clock show this afternoon to find out if you've won the contents of your basket. One person will. We'll announce that at 1. Now, the magazine is over there. Do you want me to bring the magazine over here? Or no, let's go over there. Let's go over there. Okay. Now, this is packed full of amazing content. Now, to say that this is a great deal is the understatement of the day so far, because what you've got in addition to the magazine is £40 worth of Debbie Moore goodies extra. You've got 20 double-sided sheets down
There
the
are
bottom.
actually 40 different papers, just so you know.
Yeah, so it's
There's
20 sheets,
20
but double-sided.
sheets, but they're different. Yeah, selection of 40
Yeah.
designs, and that's what I've done.
Fantastic.
So I just wanted to say that because people were asking me earlier were duplicated. We had an email last week,
Right.
so I just wanted to check.
Yeah.
But no, gorgeous designs.
Absolutely gorgeous designs. And remember, with that, they're all inside the magazine. You've also got a download code in there for the Oz collection, which is different to the previous artwork that's been available from Oz, because this is bags and boxes, which is brand new. And you get an idea of the sort of the look of the artwork just there. That's one of the images that you can see there. That's worth $14.99, and that's included. The download code is in there. You're not paying for it. It's in the magazine. And then you get the stencil, the brand new 5-in-1 design stencil, brickwork, honeycomb, butterflies, little dots for bubbles and flowers, all of that for $12.99 with the magazine as well. That's £40 worth of extras, plus the magazine that you'll always keep and cherish and always refer back to. And what you're going to get with the papers, remember, is a daisy theme, so very much looking forward to spring. But there are projects for that are featured in
There
there.
is.
Yeah?
There's loads of projects in there. And what we try to do is give you 3D projects, quick cards. If you are a brand new beginner, we've done step-by-step instructions. We have got other techniques and other collections that we brought to you with Hobby. There's a bit of write-up on Hobbymaker in there as well.
Oh, is there? Great.
About us joining forces and working together. And what we've given you is a whole variety of floral themes with just loads of colour palettes and loads of freebies. We like to introduce you to the world of digital crafting as well as paper crafting.
Well, I mean, a few years ago, probably an awful lot of people thinking digital, is that me or not? I mean, digital is around us everywhere now. We've got our mobile phones, we watch digital TV, digital radio, we're used to it. So why not craft digitally? It's the most affordable way to do your crafting, because you choose what you print it onto and what you're going to use it for. You're not being dictated to by having to buy just a kit or whatever. And if you do buy a kit, you've got the forever code included too from Debbie. So you only ever need to buy one of Debbie's kits once to keep on enjoying the artwork in weeks and months to come. And of course, if you buy the tissue paper and the glossy paper, all that wonderful artwork on the forever codes and the download code in here for the Oz, you can print onto tissue paper and then make your own designer candles. I'd be making loads of those. That's such great fun.
The candles I just love, and they're great for gifts, and also everyone's different.
Yeah.
Because you can do all the different toppers.
I mean, okay, let's say you're paying £8 for the stencil, and that's not, that's an affordable stencil at £8. That means you're only paying $4.99 for the magazine, the download of Oz, and the 40 was 20 sheets, double-sided, 40 images of the papers. So that's an incredible deal today. 0800 001 4433. Remember, we'll get you through to the call centre. If you'd rather order on the website, it's hobbymaker.co.uk. And there, of course, you can order 24/7, and you can order on the phones, of course, 24/7 as well. What time's our show this afternoon?
2 p.m.
2 o'clock. Debbie and I are back with a recap of this at 2 o'clock. So if you've just woken up now and missed it and thought, oh, I didn't know Debbie was on, she'll be back with me at 2 this afternoon for more info on this and everything else in the show as well. OK, now the anagram, thank you to all of you that entered this. We asked you a little while ago, rearrange these letters to make a crafting project. Pasture pies, what could that be? Rearrange the letters, loads of you got it right. Here's the answer. Tissue paper.
It's almost like I planned it.
It is. Tissue paper was the answer. Who is the winner? Joe Moran, morning Joe, congratulations. Very soon you'll have £25 credit on your account to spend on anything you like with us at Hobbymaker. So well done to you, congratulations, and thank you for taking part. We'll do it again tomorrow, okay? 6 o'clock every weekday morning, we give you the chance to win your basket and also give you a little bit of a quiz with an anagram or so on. If you want to have a little look at everything else that's in the show, remember we've got the physical kits with the forever codes, we've got the USBs, we've also of course got the matchets, and we've also got that tissue paper and glossy paper as well. Loads of you coming in for the magazine as I'm speaking now. Hello Elizabeth, Pearl, Jane in Bedfordshire as well coming through for this. Go and have some breakfast.
I'm going to, and a coffee.
And a coffee, and I'll see you at 2 o'clock. Thank you to Debbie. We've got lovely Gwen coming up in just a minute as well with Creative Expressions, the latest collection from them with the brilliant Sam Poole designing, of course. That's on the way next after a short break.
If you want to search our website for your favourite brands, simply go to hobbymaker.co.uk, click on brands, and you'll find all your favourite items all in one place. Shopping made simple with Hobbymaker.
Here at Hobbymaker, we want your shopping experience to be as simple as possible. That's why you can buy as many items as you like all day and only pay one postage and packaging fee. It doesn't matter what weight, size or quantity of your order or how many times you check out that day, you still will only be charged 1 P&P. Shopping made simple with Hobbymaker.
It's a new year, so that can only mean one thing.
It's time for those New Year resolutions.
And it's the perfect time to start a new hobby.
Jewellery Maker, Sewing Street and Hobbymaker are here whether you're starting something new or advancing your skills on a current hobby.
With all the tools you need to start, as well as expert demonstrations from our great guests.
Are you starting a new hobby this January? Share your new makes with us by tagging Jewellery Maker, Hobbymaker or Sewing Street using the hashtag New Year New Hobby.
And watch us every day from 8 AM to 1 PM on Jewellery Maker.
On Hobbymaker, 6 to 8 AM and 1 to 6 PM.
And 8 AM till 1 PM on Sewing Street.
My name is Anne-Marie and I am the creative manager at Hunky Dory Crafts. Hunky Dory are the UK's premier papercraft manufacturer, and we design and manufacture all of our papercraft goodies back at home in Preston. We do lots of papercraft products as well as moonstone dyes. We have our Prism range of colouring mediums like watercolour pencils, alcohol markers, waterbrush pens, and we also have our very own range of stamps called For the Love of Stamps. We're really looking forward to bringing you all of our brand new product launches as well as our inspirational demonstrations, which we just know the audience love.
Want to know what's going on in the next show? Then head over to our website. Click on the TV guide. This will tell you who's presenting, which guest we have joining us, along with what's going on in each hour. If you ever miss a show, you can catch up by clicking on the day you missed and then click Watch This Show. You can also view what product was on and if it's still available to buy. Catch up on Hobbymaker.
Hobbymaker are proud to work alongside some of the biggest brands in the industry. Keep watching for these brands and many more here on Hobbymaker.
Our call centre is based in the UK and available 24/7. Just call 0800 001 4433 or email help@hobbymaker.co.uk.
Here at Hobbymaker, we love seeing what you've been making, and it's our job to keep you inspired. So how does a £100 credit to your Hobbymaker account sound? Every month, we're going to be giving away a £100 credit to one lucky Hobbymaker's account. And all you have to do to enter is simply send a photo of your craft you makes to studio@hobbymaker.co.uk. We will be picking one winner each month at random, and we'll announce the lucky winner on air in the 5 PM show on the last Saturday of every month. So what are you waiting for? Get crafting, get motivated, and get inspired with Hobbymaker.
A very good morning, everybody. Welcome to the 1st of February. Bye-bye, January. See you next year. Yeah, the longest month of the year is done and dusted. I'm Dave, and we're live with Hobbymaker and Wake Up with Hobbymaker every weekday between 6 and 8. Now, Hobbymaker Highlight is something we launch at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then we bring it back mid-afternoon a bit later on as well. And the lovely Creative Expressions have been with us now for a number of months, and Gwen is with me. Lovely Gwen with fantastic demonstrations and inspiration. And Gwen, good to see you.
Morning.
You all
How
right?
are you?
Yeah, I'm very well. I'm very well.
I'm really well, thank you.
Now, Sam Poole is the designer of this set, and
is.
Creative Expressions work with a lot of great designers, don't they?
Yes.
Sam's very much a kind of a shabby chic fan, isn't she?
That's right. She loves sort of all things French, haberdashery, lace,
Yeah.
couture, that sort of thing, and she loves that vintage feel. And she certainly has brought that into this collection. I mean, it's got all sorts of gorgeous elements to help you make journals, cards, scrapbooks, you name it. You can use these products.
Now, we've got lots of options for you. Now, if you don't want to spend very much money today, I've just got to let you know you can buy the individual dies, you can buy the individual stamps, you can buy smaller bundles as well. They should be on the website. There's a bundle for every pocket. For example, you could buy maybe this set of 3 up here, for example, $31.98. The other set is around about the same sort of price. But the best value, you know what I'm going to say, is if you buy it all. Now, if you buy it all, you're going to get basically 3 sets of 3 dies. You're going to get the set of 4 stamps down there, and this fantastic worn and weathered, bit like me, worn and weathered art pad. All of it you're going to get at a reduced price, okay? Now, it should be $153.87. If you buy it today, though, and you buy the whole thing, it's only $124.99, and it will be on split pay as well. So if you are tempted and you love everything about this and you want to get it in your basket, but you want to spread the cost interest-free, you can enjoy... How many split pays are we doing on this? Is it 3? It hasn't come in yet, but it will be on split pay. You're going to get all of this for $124.99, okay? Now, if we look at them individually quickly up the top here, before we get to demo with Gwen, you've got this beautiful doily that you can see here. The lights are our enemy with the packaging. There we go. There's that beautiful doily. Next to that, you've then got your butterflies, and you get 9 dies in there in total. So you've got the die for the background, for the mat and the layer. You then get your letters of the alphabet in lowercase as well. That's the first part of it. This beautiful pad, if I flick through here, the artwork in this is just gorgeous. It really, really is. Very, very beautiful. You've got old-fashioned writing, receipts, journals in there as well. Lovely. Worn and weathered, it's called. There you go. So you're going to get that. How many sheets do you get in there?
36, I think.
Yeah, 6 of 6. Yeah, 6 designs, 6 of each, 36 sheets in total. Then next to that, we've then got this beautiful, intricate doily. So that would mat on top of the base, I would imagine. So the two go together.
Absolutely, yeah.
So there's that one. Hang on, let me just try and stand it up a bit better for you. There we go. Then you've got your flowers. And these have got little, almost like faux stitches going on, texture for the centre of the leaf and for the petals as well. And the buttons are so, so sweet. So you can add these little buttons to all of your projects, really cute. Then the next set of dies down the bottom, they're all available as sets of 3 as well, which you'll see on the website. The other set down the bottom here as well, we've got, I'm really into this. You've got your kind of notepad effect. That's going to give you the kind of ring binder effect at the top, isn't it? Which is really clever. I like that a lot. More flowers and petals, and then a triple doily all joined together. So the detail in that is phenomenal. And then the icing on the cake are the stamp sets we've got over there as well. So again, the intense detail is very, very impressive. You've got your envelopes there. You've got all these various words. Now that's not one particular stamp. That's actually lots and lots and lots of smaller stamps. And you can see how lovely they are. And you've got basically French words and French sayings and French verses there as well. So all of that for that price of $124.99. Now, split pay is there. Is split pay on the screen? Okay, we're going to get that put on the screen for you fairly soon. It's not coming up at the moment. It will be on split pay. So if you do want to spread the cost, bear with us. We'll get the split pay activated and put it on the screen for you as soon as we can. But the whole thing, $124.99, or you can buy them in sets of 3, or you can buy them individually, all listed on the website. So there's something for every budget, really.
Yes, there is.
Terrific.
But I think you're going to want more than one, I think.
I think so. We've got stencils. We've also got other fantastic products from Creative Expressions to come in the show, but we'll go through those. Shall we put the smaller bundles on? Yeah, let's put the smaller bundles on the computer, on the website for you, so you can actually go for those. If you want this one here, this one is the sample. This is Francesca and Friends. This 3 up the top here with the butterfly and the letters of the alphabet. That's only $31.98, and that'll be on there as well. But we'll pop that on the website. All 3 separate collections will go on the website in the next minute or 2. All right, Gwen, over to you for our first demo.
All right, thank you, Dave. So I want to show you how to put this card together. And I'm going to start by showing you one of the stamps. As you know anything about me, you know I'm into my stamps a great deal. So these were really appealing to me. And I'm going to start with the flower seed. And it's a beautiful bouquet, a very vintage sort of thing. It's the type of stamp you might see in something like an Edwardian lady's diary or that sort of thing. It gives you that feel of, you know, a genteel lady out in the countryside, perhaps watercolouring. It's definitely got that vintage side to it.
Now, as we go along, we're going to put the details of what Gwen's using on the screen. So if you want the stamp set on their own, that's what's coming up now on the screen for you.
So I'm going to stamp, not the whole image, I'm going off the bottom of my piece of card. You don't always have to use a whole stamp. And I'm going to stamp it with an archival ink, which is a permanent ink, because I then want to colour this image in with some watercolours. And I've brought for you today 6 of Sam's botanical stains, which I absolutely love. They are, basically, they are a ready-made watercolour ink.
Right.
But they are designed to mimic the look of proper botanical stains, so stains from nature. So we've got things like woad blue and lupin teal and all sorts of other colours that's the colour you would get if you were producing those dyes from nature.
Right.
So I'm just using as well the French script text, which I've also brought. I've inked it, but I want to tap off the first amount of ink. And then I'm just going to tap this and sort of roll it here and there just to bring in a little bit of that text into my image. And that's all I want to do there. So now what I'm going to do is colour in this image. And I'm using 2 of the botanical stains. I've got here woad blue, which I do remember it being used a lot with wool. I don't know why that stuck with me, perhaps because I come from an area where the woolen mills were.
Now these stains, by the way, they're in sets of 3. So which one are you using at the moment?
Woad blue, and then I'm going to also use marigold.
Okay.
So these come with a fantastic little pipette dispenser, and you just squeeze it up, squeeze the little cap, and it'll lift it up out of the bottle, and then squeeze it to release it into some sort of palette.
Now marigold comes with sandalwood and woad blue. Okay, those 3 together are $13.50. Is that right? not today. If you want those stains, $11.99. But they're water-based, because the word stain makes me think permanent, but they are water-based. Yeah.
They are water-based, and you don't need to add any water to them. They are already, as I say, they are like a ready-made watercolour, and they're just so easy to use. I just need to grab a piece of tissue, because I don't want too much of this. I want a very soft watercolour look, and that's the beauty of them. That's what they give you. You can also use these onto fabrics and lots of different surfaces of cardstock, as long as it's not a coated card, because obviously it's just going to sit on the surface.
It's a lovely product, isn't it?
It's wonderful.
$11.99, there you go. The details for those three that Gwen's using, YJ2827.
So I'm bringing the blue into that flower. It's really quick as well, this. And you don't have to be perfect, because if you think about watercolour images, they're not perfect.
No, they're not.
And if you try to be too perfect, then you're going to sort of lose that nature of it. So don't worry too much. It's really quite quick.
I think watercolouring is one of my favourite techniques because of that reason. You know, you don't have to be too precise.
Yes, but obviously this is much easier than doing the actual real thing, where you'd have to draw your outline to start with and all of that. And that's the hard part, isn't it? So we've made it very easy by bringing you these beautiful stamps and then something just to fill them in. So you can see I'm not really being overly careful. I won't do too much because I've got one ready done, and it does take a little while, but it's very relaxing. I love doing this sort of thing.
Yeah, me too.
Once your first layer has dried, then if you want to, you can go in and you can start to then add a little bit of secondary shading, perhaps just around the inner edges of the petal. And then I'm going to change to my marigold. This is the most wonderful colour, and you'll see when I use it, it really does mimic the colour of marigolds. And that's exactly what it's designed to do.
And these bottles with the watercolour in, you get 60 ml in each bottle. So
Yeah.
there's a lot in there.
There is a lot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mix these two together, because I've got a yellow and a blue. I have no green in this collection, but if you know anything about your colour mixing, yellow and blue will give you green. And these two particular colours will give you almost it's not quite olive and it's not quite sage, but it's a really lovely soft green. There is another blue and another sort of orange colour in the collections I've brought you today, and they would give you an entirely different green when you mix them.
Right.
So it's lovely to play around with your colours, because you can then tailor make whatever it is you desire. So obviously you take a little bit more time than I am doing, colour in the rest of that, but I just want to show you then also how I've coloured the edges. So I've got a wide flat brush. I'm going to go into that blue again, take a little bit off, and rather than using an ink, you might be familiar with using an ink around the edge of a card, I'm just going to swish down with this brush. Nothing too precise, just wavy line here and there, just to frame it a little bit. And then when I've done that, I'm then going to ink in the traditional fashion with a brown ink.
These images always remind me of like the old-fashioned country kitchen books.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly the look it makes me think of as well. Yeah, so just a little bit of darker ink just around the edges, just to frame that. And that's your panel, well, almost done. So here's one that is done, just to show you.
Don't worry, we will run through everything
There we
Gwen's
go.
been using at the end of the demo.
So that's your topper done. So let's pop that to one side and move on to the rest of our production. I've got a lot to show you. So these gorgeous papers, they really are stunning. This is a page that looks like a ledger page, and what I've done, I've taken a paper distressing tool, which is actually a thread cutter, but it has blades in these little sections. It's got a round blade, and all you do to rag up your edges is just this.
It's a much more convenient and safer way of doing it rather than with a scissor blade.
You can do it with scissors, but as you say, it's a little dangerous. So you do that and distress your edges, and then I've inked those. And I'm going to stick this down now to my card base. And the other thing I like about this style of card, is that you don't need to stick everything down so firmly. It doesn't have to be flat. I quite like it if it's a little bit wavy and corners are lifted and what have you. So it's a very forgiving style I've got glue on my top. And then what I've done here, I've got another piece of the paper. I just want to show you that distressing again, because it's really quick to achieve. You just rub the blade up and down, and you can see how it feathers the paper really easily.
I love that look of old vintage, like you found something in the attic in the loft in a suitcase.
Yes.
It's been there for years. Or
It's fab, isn't it?
Yeah, love
and
it.
then I'm going to bring in, and actually the ink I'm using, it's one of my favourites for distressing, is actually frayed burlap. I know a lot of people use tea dye or vintage photo or walnut stain, but I really like this frayed burlap. It's got a slightly greyer edge to it. And I want this to be lifted up. So I'm actually going to stick a piece of chipboard to it. Because it's only paper, I want to give it some support. So I've got a 2mm thick piece of chipboard, and I'm going to stick that to my paper and then apply that to the card. So that's really going to give it some dimension and height. And then I can start to attach other bits and pieces to this. So I've also got some little flags that I've cut. Oh, I cut my nails yesterday. What a mistake. I can't pick anything up. So I just quickly want to show you how you can make these little flags quite easily. And this is a great way of using up your scraps of paper as well.
Right.
So you cut yourself a strip, however wide and long you want, and then you find the centre at the bottom and you cut up. Doesn't really matter how much. Then you go from one corner to the top of your snip, turn it over and go from the other corner to the top of the snip, and there's your little flag. Let's distress that a little bit with some ink, and don't worry if you screw your paper up, that's even better. If it's got little wrinkles in it, it's all going to add to the aged effect. All right, so now we can get things in place. We can start to. So I've got my topper. I've also got that little journal page, though, or the tear-off pad that Dave commented about. This is actually the offcut from it.
Oh, wow.
And I really liked that as
I
a
did too.
detail. So I thought, right, let's use that. So I'm just going to add this to the bottom of my topper. About there. So it's just peeking out like that. I'm then going to add one of my shorter flags.
It's good that you can use the positive and the negative. There's no weight.
Yes, absolutely. And obviously it leaves a frame when you cut it out, which you can also use, but I just chose to use that little piece. So I'm going to pop one flag there, and then, let me just think what I'm doing. Oh yes, a doily. We've got these fantastic lacy doilies, and there are 3 of them, one with the triple and 2 with these lovely lacy single bits. Now I've cut these out of this silk paper, which Creative Expressions do sell. I've not brought it today, but we did have it late last year.
Is it like the angel hair?
It's a bit like mulberry paper, that sort of thing, which is silk paper basically. So I've actually die cut the doily out of that, and it die cuts beautifully, but the only thing I would say is cut 2 layers together,
Right.
because it's very delicate, and it cuts much easier and the bits fall out much more easily if you do 2 layers. Oh, excuse me, I've got a frog this morning.
I think it's catching.
Oh.
Debbie had a throat on this morning as well. She was doing a craft fair over the weekend, so I think she's been talking a lot.
Yes, that would do it. So I'm just going to distress the edges, not too heavily, because it is meant to be lace and you don't want it to look actually dirty,
No.
Just aged. So that's our little doily. Now this is going to go to the bottom right of the card. So it's just going to protrude. Just a little bit of glue, you don't need much at all because it's very delicate paper. So let's pop that there, and then we can pop our main panel down. And that's going to go slightly over to the left. There. And then I'm going to pop these other flags higher up. Oof, come on. So you don't need to really put much glue on these at all. So one just there, and then a smaller one just to the side. I'm going to pop that one underneath, if I can tuck that under like that. So they're just slightly overlapping a little bit. Okay. And then I want to show you the buttons. I absolutely love these buttons.
Yeah, these buttons are really cute.
I have to confess, when I first saw them, I thought, why on earth would you want a die to make buttons? Because everybody's got a button box. But the more I used them, the more I thought it makes complete sense. Because A, there's no depth to them and there's no weight to them.
No.
And B, you can make them any colour you like to suit your project. So I fell in love with these. And there's so much detail on them, they're stunning. So what I've done, I've taken a piece of, this is our pumice cardstock, which is again, one of my favourite colours. I do more like the grey edge to things than the brown, I have to say, it's just me. And I'm using the embossing dabber from Ranger, which we have brought for you today.
I'd not seen this until today.
This is wonderful. It's an embossing ink in a bottle, and it's got this little pad, and you just squeeze it till you get it flowing, and then you can blend it, and you can cover a piece really quickly. I just find it really, really easy to use. And then I've also brought you some fantastic embossing powders, 3 pearly embossing powders. And for this one, I'm going to use Silver Pearl.
Now, we've got the embossing powders. Do you get 3, did you say?
You get 3.
3. I've only
They're
got
all
2.
quite sort of neutral, but beautiful. Pearlescent. 2 of them have got a pearlescent finish, and one of them is like a flat ivory, which is perfect for buttons. So we'll just coat this, and then I need to melt that and heat it.
Okay. Now, if you want the embossing powders, you get 3 of them. I've only got 2 here. We'll get 3. And this fantastic invention, which is the embossing dabber that Gwen was just using, $18.99. There we go. So those are the 3 you're going to get.
That's good.
There we go. Yeah, it is. Really good. I mean, I'll pay that just for the embossing powders. Actually, that will be a great price for 3 embossing powder pots. But you get those 3, and you get your clear Ranger Emboss It dabber. So it's basically sticky ink in a dabber form. $18.99. That's going to be a bestseller today. I know that.
Yeah, it always sells out. I've brought it a few times, and it always sells out.
Well, we've got it in stock now. You're up early. Get in before the shows this afternoon, before possibly it sells out again.
So you can see how beautiful this is. It's got this sort of minky, I mean, it is affected by the colour you put behind it.
Right.
Because it's actually translucent. But this is coming up with this beautiful sort of minky pearl finish. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, I would give that another coat. So let it cool. Give it another coat with the dabber.
Can I just show everyone at home?
Yes, of course.
All right. So have a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it's almost like a rose gold, almost.
Almost. If you used a sort of soft pink behind it, you would get that.
So that's one of the embossing powders that you get with the dabber as well, or the dauber. Beautiful. Love that.
Thank you. And then out of that, you can cut your buttons. So if I can just find them. You get 14 different buttons, and they all have amazing detail. Some have got little pinked edges. Some have got dots, some have got like stitches. They're just amazing. So all you do is put those onto your piece of embossed card and die cut them. And you can see I've been doing that with these here. Really, really simple to do. And you can cut loads at a time and then just gather them into a pot.
Beautiful.
So I've got some here that I've already done, so you can see a little bit more of that fantastic detail. The embossing powder is actually, if you had it in a sheet on its own, it's flexible.
Right.
So you can die cut it without it breaking. It's not
Good.
too
It's
brittle.
not gonna crack or anything like that.
Yeah. So now we can finish our card with just a few little details. I'll get my smaller glue bottle for this. So I'm just going to pop these around and about on the card. So I have one here. And some of them have got 4 holes, some of them have got 2. So if you wanted to, you could actually put thread through these. I did do that on one, but it's something that takes time, so I didn't want to stand here and do it. So we'll have those there. And you can see if you want to put this in the post, you couldn't, well, you could if you had real buttons, but it's probably going to be a little bit chunky.
And you can easily knock them off by mistake or whatever.
Yes, they're quite difficult to stick a buttons,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
You need more of a cement type glue to make them stay put. So there we are. There's our
Beautiful.
finished sample. And there's the original. Let's bring that one in and you can see the two.
Superb. Well, we've got some finished samples here as well from the design team, and they always come up trumps. To give you an idea of the sort of versatility that this collection from Sample will give you, I mean, that's the image that Gwen used in the demonstration a few minutes ago, but it looks completely different when it's coloured in different colourways. If you want to go for either an individual set of dies, a set of 3 dies that we've got available for you, or the big collection, you can either buy the whole show. It is on split pay, remember, the big collection as well, but just to give you an idea of the sort of thing, if you've got maybe vintage photographs, you want to bring those into play as well, that's using the buttons in the middle of the doily again. Really stunning. That's one of the vintage envelope stamps that we talked about earlier on today. But lovely. If you love your kind of shabby chic, the kind of Provence sort of feel to your card making, very classy, very, very classy indeed. The whole collection again is on split pay now, so that's been put on there for you. So if you were waiting for that to happen, it is now available. Here it is. This is everything. So you're going to get basically all of the stamps, all of the dies and the paper pad for £30 less than what you're actually spending. £124.99. I'll just wander over so you can again see everything. There's the doily that Gwen was using a few minutes ago, and of course you can use that in all sorts of ways, not just with tissue paper or mulberry paper. Use it with cardstock. So this is now on 3-way split pay. So it's £41.66 your first payment today, plus your P&P capped at £3.95, and the next payment in 4 weeks, next payment in 8 weeks. You've then got your beautiful butterflies in various different shapes and sizes, and you've got your lowercase letters of the alphabet for personalisation too. Don't forget that beautiful vintage paper pad, which is called Worn and Weathered. You've got kind of ledgers and receipts in there, lots of interesting scripts that you can, of course, use for your backgrounds if you want to as well. Then you've got the other detailed doily section, which works well with the one we showed you a few minutes ago. Your flowers, your buttons, your cute little buttons that Gwen was using a couple of seconds ago. Then down the bottom, more flowers. You've then got my favourite part of it is this kind of ring binder kind of style like that. It'll just make it look as if you've ripped a sheet out of a ring binder, that sort of thing. Then you've got your triple doily, one on top of the other. And then over here we've got all of your stamps as well, which has of course got that lovely vintage envelope design. You've got down here, you've got that lovely lace work with the flower. There we go. And also you've got your French words there in beautiful fonts as well. So the whole thing, you'll get the lot for £124.99, or that first split payment of 3, okay? Now, we can break them down. So let's break them down to sets of 3. So to start off with, we've got the Francesca and Friends. So Francesca and Friends is going to get you this doily, these butterflies, and the lowercase letters of the alphabet, okay? So this one is Francesca and Friends. And that's going to be £31.99. It should be £37.97. It's £31.99. We put the wrong one on the screen for you. We'll get the right one. So Francesca and Friends is coming up. Bear with us. Which one's that one? Okay, that was Camille. Okay, we'll get to Camille in a second. So Francesca and Friends, £31.99 if you just want those 3 sets of dies, okay? So just over £10 per die set, basically. And that is PM 2849. PM 2849 gets you those, okay? So that's that one. That's Francesca and Friends. 0800 001 4433, free phone number. That's the call centre number here in the building. Also, you can order it and see all the pictures on the website as well at hobbymaker.co.uk. Now, the next one we've got for you, you can buy them individually as well, if you just want the lowercase letters of the alphabet. The next one we've got for you is Camille and Friends, which is this one here. Now, that's got your buttons in this one. Also, you've got your flower and your foliage and your leaves, and you've also got the detailed doily dies. So that's Camille and Friends. But if you just want the buttons on their own, they're £7.99. So you can buy individuals. They'll all be listed on the website if you go and have a little look at hobbymaker.co.uk. And then we've got Penelope, I think. Is it Penelope? Oh, Madeleine and Friends is down here. So that's got the kind of ripped out page from the jotter, from the ring binder. That flower and that triple doily, that kind of tower of doilies. So that one's called Madeleine and Friends, and that's going to be £30.99. So even better value. £30.99 for those 3. And then we've got the stamps on their own. If you want those, they're only £32.99 as well. So yeah, little bundles, or you can go for the big collection, which will give you everything plus the paper pad. If you want the paper pad on its own, if that's what you've fallen in love with, let me just show you again. This is right up my street. I love anything vintage like this. Now the paper pad, £9.99 for the paper pad, and you've got 36 sheets in there. But every page is intriguing. You can't really read what it says, but you still try, you want to. You've got like ledgers, all sorts of things, old receipts, invoices. There we are. I mean, this is a French, oh, look at that. Well, how beautiful is that? You can't really make much sense out of it because it's in French or what have you, unless you can read French. I can't. But yeah, I mean, a lot of them, they're not designed to be actually read. They're there for effect, to have wonderful backgrounds. So that, if you want it, is available. It's called Weathered and Worn, and that's coming in at, what was it, £9.99? £9.99 if you want that one. So that's the collection. And then, of course, what we showed you, if I go back over to the counter, Gwen was showing you these stains. Now, these are water-based. So Marigold, Sandalwood and Woad Blue are these three just here, okay? So I put the swatch of the colours there that Gwen's very kindly given us. Just put those there for you. Aren't they lovely? So those two there are what Gwen used in the demonstration, and Sandalwood is that colour in the middle, okay? Now, if you want slightly richer colours or darker colours, you've got your black bean, your grape, and your lupin teal, okay? So that one's black bean, that one's grape, and that one's your lupin teal. That's those three at the top here. And they've got little colour swatches on the front of the packaging as well. So at a glance, you can see which ones you've got. But they're big. There's 60 ml in there. A little bit of that is going to go a long, long way. And you've got all three for £11.99. And the other thing that I've got to quickly show you before we go on to our second demo from Gwen is over here, the embossing powders. Now, you are going to get three. I've got this one, which is Silver Pearl. This one, which is your Arctic Pearl. And what's the other one that you used, Gwen? What was the one?
Ivory. Is it ivory that you're missing?
I think it is, yeah. Thanks. Is that the one that you used in the demonstration?
No, I used the Silver Pearl
Silver Pearl,
on the
okay.
buttons earlier.
But what is the game changer for me is this one. You're going to get your Emboss It Dabber. Now, you've seen sticky ink pens like the Versamark. You've seen the Versamark pads as well with sticky ink. This is sticky ink in a bottle, an adorber, so you can do large surface areas really effectively and be more specific where you're actually applying it. So you put that down first, put the embossing powder on the top, heat it, and boom, job done. £18.99 for all three, and that's GO2845. GO2845, and those are the three effects you can create using the embossing powders. Okay, very, very popular, as always, for those. Okay. Demo two.
All right, so I'm going to show you a few more of the products that I've brought today and a different one of the stamps. So we're going to hopefully create something similar to this. I'm going to use two of the lace doily dies and show you how it can all be pulled together. So I want to start by using another one of the botanical stains. This one's called Black Bean, and it's just the most wonderful plummy colour.
Can I just show the card you're going to make? Is that all right?
Yeah.
There we go. Let's just have a little look. That's what Gwen's going to be doing. There we go. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. Very, very classy.
Oh, just like me.
Just like you, yeah.
Not. Thank you. So literally all I'm going to do is pick up the black bean stain and coat this piece of card with it. This is our coconut white card, which is not a watercolour card, but it takes this really well. So
that goes a long way, that colour.
Yes, it does. It's a fab colour. Obviously, you can intensify it by layering it. If you let each layer dry, and then you can go back in and add further intensity. But I just wanted a nice soft pastel backwash to this, so that will do. All right. So pop that away to dry. And I've got one that I've already done here and dried. And then I want to bring in one of our stencils. Sorry, I haven't got my stencil ready. Where'd they go on? Oops, now I'm throwing things.
Using that Weathered and Worn pad with that die that looks like you've ripped it out of a ring binder, that's really effective.
It's lovely, isn't it? Yeah. I really like that. So I've got for you also today some of the antique sand paste that Sam produces as well. I've got 4 colours. This one is Soft Damson. This is a very creamy paste with a grit. That sounds like an oxymoron. But it's a creamy consistency, but it has grit in it.
Yeah.
So it's a grit paste, but it's fluid, if that makes sense. So for this particular pattern, I just want to add a little bit of this to the top left corner of my piece of card. So I'm going to pop this paste down and just put this through. You can hear the grit.
These colours, Gwen, are just
Aren't they
gorgeous.
amazing? I think Sam's outdone herself with these. I absolutely adore these. It's the perfect texture paste. You can use it freehand with a spatula and just create texture. You can pop it through a stencil. You can put it on a brush, and I like to drag it across a piece of card. I've got a sample. Hopefully I'll show you this afternoon where I've done that. And then you just do need to remember, obviously, to get your stencil straight into water. But how lovely is that? So I've got some water down there. Just put that straight in, and it will just wash off. And then if you just clean up your edges, I just like to rub my finger down there just to clean up any little feathering. And there we've got a fantastic raised stenciled design. So again, pop that to one side. It's all about building up your elements and making sure everything works together. If you get your colours right, I always say you're halfway there.
Now we do those wonderful pastes in sets of 2. So this one, so set 1 is, or set A is Delicate Blue and Moss Blanket. So that's those 2, okay? Moss Blanket and Delicate Blue is set A, and set B is Soft Damson and Shabby Truffle. Which one did you use, Gwen?
Soft damson.
Soft Damson, so that one there, okay? So they're available in sets of 2. And they're only $9.99 for both.
So from the Ripped and Torn Papers set, which I absolutely adore, I love it, I've chosen to use this one. There is one bigger than this again, and I've used this little ring binder page. And I've cut the 2 together, so pop them onto your chosen cardstock and cut them. And then what you'll get is this bit, which is the frame there, and this bit, which I've cut from a different piece of paper, obviously, comes out of there. So I got a brown one out of the middle of that as well, which I've used on something else. So that's how I've cut those.
Those Rip paper dies, they're only $13.99 on their own.
They're super, and you get 5 different shapes.
Fabulous.
Now, I've stamped and painted the flower. This one is from the set called Envelope. I've done exactly what I did last time, so I'm not going to do that again. But this time I painted with black bean, sandalwood, just for the centre of the flower, and then I mixed up the blue and yellow again to get that green. And what I've done this time is used a pumice. Now, again, this is one of my absolute favourite go-to colours, pumice stone. Again, it's that grey. And it appeals to me much more than brown does. Must be my hair colour.
Yeah, you and me both.
And it's very soft, but it ages beautifully. Can you see? It's really subtle.
Yeah.
You might not be able to see it, but so I've just inked the edge of this panel with the pumice. Again, I think because the paper I've chosen has the grey tones as well, I thought it worked really nicely. You can use brown, of course, if brown's your go-to. And you
Is that a distress ink or an oxide?
It's an oxide, but it's just what I had to hand. It doesn't matter which you use particularly, but this does give a soft chalky finish, which again is quite vintage.
Yeah, I like that.
So it's quite nice. But as I say, if you want to use brown, and sometimes I actually double ink. So I might do a softer colour, more blended, and then actually go in with a darker colour just to literally do the edge. So you can double ink if you want to distress that way. That's quite nice as well. So here's the one I did earlier that I've already stamped onto. I've just added a little patch of lace across there, and then I'm going to fit these 2 together. So in order to do that, I can just attach by the lace on the sides of this, and then I'm going to put a backing on it which will hold them together. So I'll just pop the lace and a little bit of glue at the side. That will just be enough to hold it in place. So, oops, get it the right way. Of course, because they've been cut with the same die, they fit back perfectly. So that's that bit. And then I've chosen to cut the larger shape from the Ripped and Torn Papers out of vellum. I've already got foam tape on the back of that, but I've put the foam tape where it's not going to be seen.
Is vintage style your thing? Is that what you like most?
Do you know, I do like it. I never think to do it, but when I do it, when I get the opportunity, I absolutely love it. But a lot of the time I'm tied by whatever products I'm working with.
I mean, if it's
at the time.
if it's a look that you love and you haven't got any dies that are relevant, I mean, this collection today is spot on. And remember, it's £124.99, but it is on 3 split pays.
Oh, have we got 3?
Yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So £41.66 is all you pay today, and this will be dispatched straight away from Creative Expressions. P&P is capped, remember, every day at £3.95, no matter how many things you buy, just one P&P, and we'll get that home to you. You should get it in the next few days.
Just remember with vellum that whatever sort of adhesive you're using, you have to hide it, otherwise it will show through your vellum. So that's that bit. This is another piece from the Worn and Weathered, and on the large dates from the past stamp set, there's this gorgeous little, it's almost like a seal or a stamp design, a circle. And so I've chosen to use that with an archival ink. Again, this is because it's a permanent ink and it dries fast. And this is a beautiful colour that just tied in with what I was doing. So,
And just to let everyone know at home, the Alex is putting all the individual dies and stamps available on the website for you. So if they're not there yet, they will be in the next few minutes. So if you just want to cherry pick one thing, if you just love that kind of ripped out page die set, that will be there for £13.99. And all the stamp sets will be individual too.
and then I'm going to pumice the edge. It's just a really soft colour, this. I just love it. And I'm using it on our pumice card as well. So the two really tone beautifully together.
And Distress
All right.
Oxides, they'll be on our website. We've got those. And remember, Creative Expressions have got their own brand shop on our website as well. Always
Yeah,
there.
we always bring oxides, so you can get them in our brand shop. So this is another page from the book. What I did discover is the pages have different shades of colour. Some are brown, this one's definitely blue-grey, and there are some with pink tones as well. So there's a lovely range of shades and colours in there. So I'm just tearing the edge, and if you tear paper towards yourself, you'll reveal this white edge,
Right.
which then obviously cries out for having some ink applied to it. So let's do that. And whenever the paper is torn, it will take on the ink more heavily because it soaks into the fibres of the paper.
Yeah.
So you can get a more intense look on the edge of your paper. And you can either blend as I am doing, or you can just swipe down the edge. Depends how much of the edge you want to cover. If you want to cover more, then do it like this. If you just want to catch the edge, then do it this way.
Perfect.
All right, so let's begin assembling. So I've got this paper. I just need to get my head together what I'm doing. Right, so that's going there. I have this triple doily, which is just the most beautiful. And again, I've cut it out of some really soft handmade paper this time, which was slightly creamier than the rice paper. I'm just going to put some dots of glue, and I want this to go here, down towards the bottom.
Is the glue going to disappear? Will it dry clear when it's...
It will,
Yeah.
yes, but be sparing with it because it will soak through a delicate paper like that.
Right.
And maybe if you can put it where it's not going to be seen. I mean, I'm going to cover up that bit now, so it won't matter if it does come through. So I'm going to pop my paper down. And then what I chose to do with this card, it was almost like a collage in a way, bits and pieces here and there. So I've got a piece of pumice that I've already inked. And I'm going to pop that on at a jaunty angle. And then I've got my little, what have I done with it? My little stamp. Ooh, my doily's off.
It's like a feather. It just kind of floats in the air.
It
Yeah.
just floated. So this one's going to go down the bottom. I'm going to stick it down before it runs off again. Just put a few spots. You don't need much, and it's quite nice to leave the edges so they're floaty. So that's that gorgeous lacy one. I can't remember all the names, I'm sorry. All right, and then my little seal. I just wanted to tuck that between the layers of these two panels. So something like that, and then I can stick this down.
Are all the individuals on the website now, Alex? Oh, we're just doing it. Okay. Yes, they're all there now. So anything that you want, just the single die set or the single stamp set, all there for you. Cherry pick what you're after.
So that's my stenciled panel. I did a little bit more on that one, but this, to be honest, is going to get covered up, so it wasn't necessary. And then finally the panel I did with the vellum and the stamp that I painted with those gorgeous botanical stains. I really, really like those. I do reach for those a lot. And there are other colours. We won't have them on the website because it's a while, I think, since they've been seen. But I think there are another 6, if not 8 colours. So a really beautiful collection. So this is going to go in the opposite direction on a jaunt. And then the only other thing I did was add some more stamps from this stamp set. So you can take your pick. I really loved the handwriting of this one.
I love all of them because they're very, very different.
They're
all
really are.
French
And the thing
words
is, you
and
can
verses.
just, it doesn't matter, like you said, what they say.
No,
Just add them in as and when.
it's an effect.
So I've got a really dark brown archival ink pad here. You've got dates and you've got titles and you've got like brands. You've got a boulanger, patisserie sort of thing as well. I should have done this first, but anyway, never mind. So we'll pop this just onto there. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's faded, remember. Okay, quite like that.
Yeah.
And then I think I've added a date or something as well. It's up to you. You might think, depending on how you've composed your card, you might think, well, there's a gap. So put a little stamp in it.
Love this.
So there we go.
I love the kind of atmosphere that the whole collection creates. Really beautiful. If you love vintage, if you love antiques, if you love going to old bookshops and flicking through things
the
that have been
smell
out.
of old
Yeah.
books.
That's what this collection is all about. But the deal is fantastic. If you want it all, so it's all of the stamp sets, all of the die sets, plus the paper pad, the weathered and worn, $124.99 is your price. Now, obviously you can pay in full if you want to, which many of you have done, but if you want to have split pay, $41.66 is all you have to pay today, plus your P&P, which is capped, remember, at $3.95, but it will be sent straight away to you. Now, I know in the mornings there's lots of you with things to do and you can't spend the time watching TV maybe very easily. You can watch these shows back later on today if you want to, maybe later on this morning or later on this evening or whatever. But we're back between 1 and 6 with the regular Hobbymaker afternoon shows. Gwen will be in there as well with more demonstrations.
I'm back at 3.
3 o'clock, Gwen will be back. We've got Santangle with Sandra today as well, and also Debbie Moore back a bit later too. But these two cards we've actually demonstrated, or Gwen's demonstrated in the show today, how to make them. You can watch this back a bit later on, but it's all about the collection. Sam Paul, the designer, Gwen is demonstrating. Now, other things that we've not shown you yet, we haven't shown you these stencils yet, so have a little look at these. You're going to get 3 stencils in total up here. Really beautiful, and they go beautifully well with this collection as well. Aren't they stunning? Again, Sam Paul is your designer of these. She's come up trumps with these. You've got your flourishes at the top. You've got your kind of Tudor rose down the bottom there, and a wonderful kind of ferny one on the right-hand side too. Now, these 3, the price of 3, how much would you pay for a stencil? £7, £8? Well, let's get that price in. Let's show you all 3 of these stencils, and they're about, are they an 8x8 size for those?
They are
7x7?
7 by 7, I think.
7x7. £12. £4 each. Wow. That's DG 2805. DG 2805 gets you all of them. And you don't always have to use the whole thing, just use an element if you just want one of those flowers. With your texture paste, they're brilliant as well. They really, really are. But also you can spritz through them, use them as embossing, run them through your embossing machine and they'll emboss for you. Kath in Greater Manchester, hello to you. You've checked out already. E. Arden in Essex and Nicola in Northamptonshire going for these stencils. If a £12 budget is more to your taste, then there we go. Can I also show you a couple of other things that Gwen's been using? This is your stamp. Now this is the, what's this one called? French script stamped. Now I don't know a single person that doesn't love having script as a background. You always try to read it. It's fascinating. You never can read it. This is available right now, and this is what Gwen was using actually in the demonstration earlier on. Because it's on rubber, this is just an individual standalone item, isn't it? You can use it, elements of it, you can use just the top of it, the bottom of it, the center of it. But if you fancy it, a rubber stamp, beautifully, beautifully made. When you want that script in the background, it's coming up on the screen for you. Okay, check the website. You should find that there. That'll be on the website if you go to hobbymaker.co.uk. Now, the other letters of the alphabet we've got, remember the lowercase is in the main collection, but we also have this in uppercase. So this is your capital letters. And just think about the versatility of this. If I turn them around, they're all separate dies. So I'd recommend you put these maybe on a magnetic sheet or something like that so you don't lose them. But you're going to get your uppercase letters and your numbers. And you've also got your hash there as well for social media, that sort of thing, question mark, exclamation mark, commas as well. We've only got single figure stock of this at £9.99, so if you fancy that, it's YV2849. And lots of you I know are asking about the pastes that Gwen was using. Let me show you again set A and set B. So set A is which one, Alex? Has that got the moss blanket and delicate blue? That one there. Okay, so there we go. So moss, that's the moss blanket and the delicate blue. So that's one as, we're just double checking to make sure set A and set B, you're familiar with what's what. But moss blanket and delicate blue, that's those two just there. And then the other ones are your soft damson and your shabby truffle, which are those two just there, which we used in the demonstration. That one is the soft damson. They're all on the website. Remember, they're only £9.99. And I know it's a contradiction in terms, but it's a texture of sand, but in a really kind of smooth paste.
Creamy.
So, yeah, very creamy.
It's a lovely, lovely thing.
And your embossing powders with that fantastic dauber, remember. The clear dauber, that's on the website as well. We've got about 5-6 minutes.
Okay. So I want to show you how you can use a stencil to emboss.
Okay.
So I've got a piece of dusky pink cardstock. I pop the stencil on. Now in this machine, I use my base plate. Your stencil goes next to the base plate,
Yeah.
then your card, and then your rubber mat, which most machines come with one of these,
Yeah.
and a separate embossing plate. So for my machine, that's the sandwich. You do need to mess about with your own machine. You might need an extra shim of cardstock, but you'll find your way. Just experiment a little bit. But you can do this with all stencils, and it's a fabulous way of getting some embossed detail into your cardstock with
And
a
every
stencil.
machine's got its own kind of personality. Every machine's
That's
different,
right.
so.
So now you can see that beautiful embossed detail just from a stencil, which you might think, well, there's no depth to that at all, but it works really, really well.
We're coming in to have a look. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? That's why I think embossing folders
tilt it a little bit as well.
Embossing folders are just some of the most effective tools you can use.
There you go.
Texture paste, spritzing, spraying,
Lovely, isn't it?
embossing. Lovely.
All right, so this is the card we're aiming for. And I've got lots of bits already sort of semi-done, because some of it you've seen me do already. So I've got one of the doilies. You might have noticed on my last card, I actually cut some of it off, and this was the bit that was left.
We've got about 4 minutes on the show. If we don't finish this, will you finish it off this afternoon? Or?
Probably not, because I've got others I want to show.
Okay.
So I'll just do as much as I can. So I've just used a tiny bit of that doily, just to show that you don't have to use it all. I've got a piece of card here that I've already distressed with brown ink and just put some little pearls in the corner. So let's pop that onto the centre of the card. Then I've used the oval from those ripped and torn papers, and I've cut that. It's a beautiful shape and it's got these raggedy edges. I love it.
I definitely get that pad, if nothing else.
Yeah,
That pad is
I've inked
really...
it with a little bit of pink ink and then double inked with brown, as I was mentioning to you earlier. And I've started to place a message using those alphabet dies, which are wonderful because, of course, you can personalise, you can put whatever message you want down. So let's have it on that side, I think. And then I've got the U. Just a tip to help you get them straight, I tend to use my ruler. Put your ruler down, butt the bottom of the letters up to your ruler, or if you're using a gridded craft mat or something like that, you can line them up and then get them where you want them. I get a piece of low-tack tape, press it on, pick them all up, put the glue on the back, and then put it down where I want them.
Great idea.
So that's how I've done that.
Brilliant.
The only other thing on this card I've used is one of these gorgeous shabby butterflies. And I like to, when I'm layering things, use different papers, different textures. So I've got one done in card, one done in rice paper or silk paper or handmade paper. Then I have one done from the paper pad. and another one just to finish off from that lovely silk paper. And then a string of pearls to go down its body. Oops.
I love those colourways. Really beautiful.
Well, I was guided by the colours, as I say, that are in the papers. That's obviously the pink, one of the pinker tones. Then you can just shape your butterfly. Attach that to your card wherever you choose. Et voila.
There it is. Finished card. Brilliant.
Quick, simple,
Brilliant
but
demos.
effective.
As ever, Gwen, thank you ever so much.
Thank you very much.
3 o'clock, Gwen will be back with more from this collection. Remember, you can go for the big collection where you save about £30 off the price, or there are smaller bundles of 3 in the die sets, or you can buy individuals. It's entirely up to you. But remember, Gwen actually puts this show together herself, and that's what I love about Hobbymaker and Creative Expressions. Gwen knows what she's going to be demonstrating, so she knows, what products are going to work with it and complement everything. So you know that you've got these fantastic texture pastes, you've got the embossing powders, you've got the ink stains as well, and of course those fantastic stencils too. Everything in the show, you know, is going to complement each other and work together well. So no matter what you buy, whether you just buy 1 or 2 things, you know it's all going to work together beautifully. Do bear in mind the website is there at hobbymaker.co.uk. We can't show it at the moment, but certainly if you go to hobbymaker.co.uk, you'll see what's been in the show. You'll see all the individuals, you'll see the smaller bundles, and you'll see the big bundle as well. Cherry pick what you'd like, and remember there's only ever 1 P&P for the whole day. So if you bought something this morning, thank you very much. If you're coming back this afternoon with Sandra and Santangle and Debbie Moore, and Gwen, of course, as well, with Creative Expressions, you won't have to pay any more P&P whatsoever, just 1 P&P of £3.95. Gwen's back at 3. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you, Dave.
Enjoy the morning. Thank
See you
you for
later.
your company. On the way is Sewing Street and Jewellery Maker, depending on what channel you're watching. I'll see you back this afternoon at 1. Have a great morning.